What's up? I am Shelby. This is day 19 of the 30-day Simplify Your Life challenge, and we are up to the mental decluttering. If you don't know what the Simplify Your Life challenge is, I'll leave a link in the description below where you can find out a little bit more about it. Today, we are deciding where you put your money. If you're anything like me, the amount of stuff that you discarded throughout the decluttering section of this challenge was just like, no. Not acceptable. When I first did my initial declutter, you guys will have seen the videos, I've referenced them like a million times, but I had like literally, it was like my kitchen and my lounge room were just like filled with bags. There were so many bags of expensive clothes, expensive stuff that I had bought that I was now donating or selling. I didn't really sell so much. It was at the point where I was like embarrassed, like almost like ashamed of myself for having bought so much stuff that was really like worthless in my life. I mean, I'm not trying to like shame you guys by any means, but that's just how I felt when I did my decluttering. I was like, wow, I really need to start thinking about where I'm putting my money. Like, this is such a waste. It's not good for the environment. It's not good for my mental health, obviously. And it's not good for my bank account. It's really not good for my financial situation. So today we are taking some steps towards spending your money a little bit more intentionally. Money is a super sensitive topic. As with all my videos, you do you. Everyone has a different amount of disposable income. Everyone has a different financial situation. If what I say doesn't apply to you, that's totally sweet. I am giving advice that has applied to my situation, may not necessarily be transferable to your situation. First step is to take a step back and look at your spending habits. A more tangible way to do it that I heard about on a podcast recently is to actually go into your bank transaction history, maybe print out like the last 4 weeks of your bank records, highlight the purchases that made you happy in green, highlight the purchases that were 100% necessary like bills, etc. in orange, and highlight the purchases that you either can't remember or you know for a fact didn't add any value to your life in red. I think having a look at where you actually put your money is such a good way to self-reflect and really have a think about, I don't know, just how intentional you are with your spending. Like, are you really spending your income on things that bring you joy? Or are you just spending it on stuff that doesn't actually do anything for you in the long run? So step 2 is to write down where you want to be spending your money. Because half of the reason that you ended up with so much crap in the first place is because you obviously weren't spending your money in the right places. I don't mean to sound harsh, but I know that's a fact for me. I was spending money on clothes, like bulk buys of clothes, and going to the thrift shop and buying so much. Even though the thrift shop is so cheap, I would still somehow drop a bunch of money on it. So make a decision to get intentional and write down where you actually want your money to be going. It's a good idea to have a look back at your big list of things that make you happy and the things that you do and don't care about, and then sort of match that up with where you want to put your money. A video of mine that you might find helpful is what to buy to make you happier. So now that you've sorted out where you do want your money to be spent, write down a big list of where you don't want your money to go. This might be where you have a look at those bank transactions that you highlighted, have a look at the highlights in red, and make a conscious decision not to put your money towards those kind of things anymore. For example, you might decide that no, you don't want to put your money towards a daily coffee at work because it gives you a headache anyways and it makes you feel crappy for the rest of the day. Or you really don't want to put your money towards clothing that you buy at like Forever 21 or Valley Girl because it just seems to fall apart anyways, and half the stuff you got rid of was low quality clothing. Or I don't want to spend money on crappy takeout that I just take back home, eat by myself in front of the TV. Next up, design a budget that caters to the way that you want to spend your money. So first up, if you haven't done it already, I would recommend calculating how much your bills cost and setting up automatic transfers for all of your bills so they are totally out of the way and you don't really think about them when you're thinking about how you spend your disposable income. I understand not everyone has a large amount of disposable income, but bear with me. Design a budget that caters to how you live your life and the amount of money that you earn. My advice is to create a really rough, loose budget that works for you. 50% of my income is going towards paying off my apartment. I do live at home, so I'm not paying any rent at the moment. I know, so lucky, but basically that's my rent. Roughly 20% of my income goes into a little account that's called experiences, so that I have money when I do decide that I want to go on a holiday, that I want to go on a weekend away, that I want to go to a music festival. And then the rest goes to other bills like groceries and petrol and just like random things throughout the week. Lunches, coffees, like I'm not an angel, I do occasionally buy coffee at work. So that's the kind of rough setup that I would recommend that you put for yourself. I think like incrementing it into literally like $10 goes to this, $10 goes to that is kind of insane unless you are on like a really tight budget. Sorry, I got really serious there. I don't know, I think I was just like talking about money for too long. It's kind of like a serious topic. So finish it up by celebrating yourself, celebrating another day of the challenge down. You're doing so freaking well. Sticking to a budget, even a rough one, is really hard and you might not be able to stick to it 100% at first, but you're making the effort to start spending your money more intentionally, and I think that that is like a really big chunk of simplifying and minimizing. I think decluttering is so great, but if you then go ahead and bring a whole bunch of crap into your life again, and then you're like, oh, I'll do the 30-day challenge again next year, like that's not what I want to get across in this challenge. I want this challenge to be like, okay, I'm rethinking the way that I just consume in general. Don't get me wrong, like I love decluttering, but I would much rather you were left with nothing to declutter again. And you were so intentional about your spending that you didn't get to a point where you needed to do another big spring clean. All right, I'll finish it there. So subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram, do all of the stuff. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you again tomorrow. What are we doing tomorrow? We will evaluate your commitments. I'm loving this. Okay, bye.